In this episode, we cover how to use the pulse feature in the VeVeVerse and the different things you can build with it. Now, I'm well aware that not everybody has this setting available to them at the moment, so this video is meant for those who do have it, or for those who are planning to get premium when it drops. But the pulse setting is going to allow you to pretty much bounce an object between two different points. And this setting can be applied to any object that you place into your world, as well as pretty much any setting that you apply to that object. So for example, if I want to change the color on a shape, I can actually apply the pulse setting and make it change from white to red, or from a dark color to a very bright emissive color like a flashing light. So first and foremost, let's dive into exactly how you use it. So the first step is to open your properties menu for whatever object you're trying to apply the pulse setting to. Now by default, your advanced settings are not going to be showing. So in the top right hand side of your properties menu, to the left of the double arrows, you're going to click on that icon and now you're going to see more settings appear. Now the three primary ways to use this setting are going to be to move, rotate, and scale an object, all of which you guys can see on screen right now, on top of other things like changing the color. So to move an object left, right, up, or down, we're going to click the arrow to the right of position, not scaling or rotating because we just want to move it. Every object has an X, a Y, and a Z coordinate. So in this case, you're going to see a bunch of options pop up in the drop-down menu. For the purpose of this video, we're going to ignore all of them except for by channel, because by choosing this, you can now influence each side separately. Now let's say we want the object to move along the X axis. We're going to click the drop-down menu beside the X. Again, we're going to ignore all the other stuff and click pulse. Your shape or collectible should now start doing a little jig, and that's because the piece is actually bouncing between point A and point B. The pulse length is going to represent how long the movement will take before it bounces back. The pulse min and max are going to represent your starting and ending points. Now you can also apply this setting to multiple axis points at the same time. So if you want the shape to go left and right, as well as bob up and down, all you need to do now is apply the pulse setting to the Y axis after the changes we just made to the X. So we just covered how to apply the setting. Now let's cover some things you can build using it. So the first thing I created here is a rotating door. I opened the properties menu and under rotation, I applied pulse to yaw. Now when it comes to rotating objects, a very simple way to think about this is 360 degrees is one full rotation. So if you set the min to 0 and the max to 360, it will complete one full rotation. If you set it to 720, it will complete 2, 1080, 3, and so on. The settings I used in this case is a min of 1, a max of 1000, and then the length is 100. Next, and I did post this one already, we have a working elevator. So here the moving element is of course the platform. So under position in the properties menu, I applied pulse to Y. Now the min and the max are going to vary depending on the height of your elevator. So in this case for me, my min is at 0 and my max is at 15.45. Very precise, but it's to line it up with the platform at the top. And then the pulse length is 20. One quick tip. In order to use the elevator, you do have to hold down Q or E on your keyboard. This will make your character stick to the platform. And if you don't do this, it's just going to go right through you. Now, another way to use the pulse setting is to make some moving water. So in this case, I tried to mimic an ocean. And as I mentioned before, you can influence this object in multiple ways. So in this case, I actually have it moving left and right, as well as bobbing up and down like ocean waves. To do this, I applied the pulse setting under the X and Y axis. Again, these numbers are going to vary depending on the position of the object in your world, but I will make sure to toss these settings on screen just in case you guys want to copy them. Now we've seen some people create some mazes in the community, and I haven't seen anyone create an interactive maze like this yet. So you can use the pulse setting to make the walls in the actual maze move. And this is just one example of what you can do with it. If you're playing a game where it's first one to find the collectible in the maze, you can have a moving collectible that's pulsing in a circle, and then it's actively changing spots as players are running around the maze. Another use case with this setting is for skyboxes, and I showed this on NFT Pirate stream. You can actually make a skybox rotate, so the sunset in this case is actually moving around your world. Now this feature would be much better if we had more skyboxes, because right now we really only have the one scene, just at different times of the day. But if you have a space skybox, which is the one I showed on stream, you can make it feel like you're floating in space. Now, if you want to get really detailed with it, and keep in mind that every time you apply this setting, it is going to require more from your PC. So the more items in your world that are moving around, the more intense it's going to be on your system. But if you want to get really detailed with it, you can make the leaves on trees move. So in this case, all I did was apply the pulse setting to roll under rotation. My pulse min is 0, pulse max is 1, and the pulse length is 5. And that subtle movement makes it look like the tree is blowing back and forth. Another subtle detail you can add is a day and night sequence, kind of. The directional light kind of acts as a sun inside your world, so when you do first load in, there is one placed by default. If you go to the object view list and then the properties tab for that directional light, you'll see that it's locked by default, and if you uncheck the box, you can actually make changes to it. I'll make sure to toss the settings on screen, but again, these settings are going to vary depending on the lighting in your world. The last example I have on today's list, and keep in mind guys, there are many more, are unique and creative vehicle displays. So on the right hand side, I got the DeLorean spinning with the base and the door up so you can see inside. And then on the left hand side, I have the Romulan doing the same thing, but it's also bobbing up and down because it's, well, in the air. Now these are just very simple examples. I had to consider the time I was taking to build these out because I also have to edit this video. But you can do way more intricate things, have multiple different objects moving all in different directions and, you know, changing colors and stuff like that. So if you can imagine it, you can build it. Ladies and gents, that's how you apply the pulse setting in the VeVeVerse with some examples of what you can build using it. Now, not long after the platform launched, you guys might have seen this store popping up on social media. I am proud to announce that I will be officially building or remodeling the new California comics. So if you guys have any suggestions in terms of things you guys would want to see inside this store, let me know in the comment section down below. But if you enjoy the content, make sure to like and subscribe, comment down below what you want to see in a future episode, and as for our next, I'll catch you then.